Perhaps you should have a rest.
If you make me pay attention, I will, and you won't be happy. Don't do this again.
There's rumor you bought me a present.
It's going back.
Must everything be boring and sad?
Boring and sad. The definition of Disney Star Wars. Howdy, y'all. I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and welcome to my review of Andor Episode 4. Just as a reminder, I love real Star Wars. I'm an EU guy. That's real Star Wars. What this is not real Star Wars. Now, we did get some Star Wars in this week's episode. Member Imperials, member the Empire, member Coruscant, member Mon Mothma. You're going to get that. There's your Star Wars. Other than that, though, this still ain't a Star Wars show. Doesn't feel like it, doesn't sound like it, doesn't look like it, don't taste like it either. And what did I say before? I'm going to prove it as we go through this. Andor, the title character, he is fading into the background of his own show. He's non-existent. And Diego Luna continues to mumble his way through his dialogue. For those of you who are going, oh, it's adult Star Wars. This is what I've been waiting for. Oh, it's political intrigue. Oh, you think this is political intrigue? You are deeply misinformed about what political intrigue actually is. This is people talking at each other. Oh, did I not say it? This entire episode is people talking, people walking, people talking some more, even sitting and talking. Nothing happens. 40 minutes. Nothing. It's a slow burn. They're world building. It's Star Wars. You don't need world building. But it's supposed to be lived in. It looks so real. Oh, look at the real actual sets. Who cares? You don't need to world build for Star Wars. The galaxy George Lucas built is already set up for you. It's a playground with lots of rides and toys to play with. You don't need to set up endless amounts of useless, boring characters that are probably going to die real quick, because that's what this episode does. Introduces a lot of characters, and everybody was going, oh, Mr. Security Guy, I'm so interested in him. Oh, he says one word the entire episode is in it for maybe all of 2 minutes. This show is another product of Disney disaster. Another example of what happens when you try to inject original characters into a franchise that has a plethora of actual characters for content. Spreading itself thin over pointless characters and pointless storylines. That's what this does. This show is boring, and I'm saying boring again because I know it pisses some people off. Well, guess what? It's boring. It's not a slow burn. It's pathetic and stupid. And I'm going to show you exactly how and why. Let's get started.
What would we be stealing?
The quarterly payroll for an entire Imperial site.
This episode can very easily be defined as a lot of conversations between a lot of people who don't matter. A lot of time filling and telling us things that could easily be explained and shown a lot faster. A lot of filler conversations between actually getting to points. A lot of introductions of characters who are, again, as I said before, are Disney originals that don't mean a hill of beans to anything. This show is not fun. Not at all. What's happening? Well, we pick up exactly where we left off last week. Excuse me. Luthen, Stellan Skarsgård. I'm just going to call him Stellan Skarsgård. I like that better. Stellan Skarsgård and Andor are retreating from back-ass-words made-up planet that Andor was on. They go to hyperspace, and we basically get the lowdown of Andor's character, I guess. Stellan Skarsgård's trying to convince him that there's more than just random stealing shit. Andor complains about how when he was 16, he was in a fight on a made-up Disney Star Wars history point where they ended up fighting each other and not the Empire, and there's no point in getting behind the Alliance, the Rebellion, and this or that. They throw out a bunch of names that are meaningless at this point. Stellan Skarsgård begins to try and convince him otherwise. Says, listen, I didn't come all the way to your made-up planet to get the part you wanted. I came for you. You have talent. I need you. Well, what do you want? What's the job? After Stellan Skarsgård says, you were a cook and you ran away. So it's a lot of pointless drivel. What do I need Cassian Andor's backstory for? He's a fanfic character who I don't care about. Anywho, the job in the end, as you saw, Andor's first big job, it's a heist job. I'm in Star Wars and I'm going to watch a story or a mini arc about a heist job. Buckle up, kids. Are you ready for some high-flying Star Wars adventure where they're going to steal Imperial money to fund the rebellion? Yay. With characters I don't care about. Anyway, Stellan Skarsgård eventually sells him on it. And they arrive at this planet. Or wait, am I wrong yet? Let's see. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Now we cut to Coruscant. Yay, look, something that's actually Star Wars. Coruscant and introduction of Imperial Whammons, who is apparently going to know better than everybody else. She is so sure of herself. She is so sure of everything. Introduction to Imperial Security Bureau. They shouldn't be wearing white. White uniforms are reserved for Grand Admirals. No, you should be wearing gray. That's what Imperials all wear. They all wear gray or black. No, white is reserved for a Grand Admiral. It's that simple. But they're all wearing white, so whatever. It's Disney Star Wars. Introduction to Major Old Man here, as he's lecturing everybody in his crew about what it means to be a part of the Imperial Security Bureau, the ISB. The ISB. It's not about actually being spies. It's about they're healthcare workers looking for maladies and they're a cure-all and identifying a sickness. I don't know. It's a lot of horrible dialogue. Really stupid. He then asks for reports here and there, dresses down a couple people. We turn to a particular black Imperial officer dude who's going to be in charge of the made-up planets that we saw last episode. Meanwhile, security Whammons, Imperial Whammons, notices that, well, she recognizes that the item that Andor wanted to sell to Stellan Skarsgård was stolen from one of her places, and she's tracking it because she is so good. She sees the rebellion coming. That's how good she is. We'll get to that later in the episode. That gets her wheels turning. Now, again, cut back. Another random cut. Did I forget to mention that once again they've thrown out the idea of A plot, B plot, C plot? They're just randomly cutting back and forth for more pointless conversations. I know, it's hard to keep track. We are on the random planet made up in Disney Star Wars where Stellan Skarsgård lands the ship. He's talking with Andor, says, Andor, you're going to have to call yourself a name. Andor says, I'm Clem, as he finishes shaving himself up to look different. He's Clem now to these people we're about to introduce, and Stellan Skarsgård makes a comment that he's basically going to be following this annoying Whammons that's going to come around the corner any moment here. She's really obnoxious. They're all obnoxious, but she's obnoxious, the most obnoxious one in this little rebel group. They're not even a rebel group. I don't know what they are. He tells him she's going to be in charge. You are simply somebody that's going to be hired. Don't tell them where I came from. Don't say anything about me, this and that. Andor tries to complain. He says, shut up. But before he goes, here's somebody in the Disney Star Wars writer's room that read a line from actual Star Wars lore and thought to include it. Stellan Skarsgård removes some crystal from his neck, hands it to Andor, says, if something happens to me, this is worth 50,000 credits. It's a down payment. You can sell it no matter what. But he happens to say it's from when the Rakatan invaders invaded some random planet and they were repelled. Oh, no. The Infinite Empire, the Rakatan Empire, existed 20,000 years before even the Old Republic. There are no records by this time of Rakatans. No records. None. Nobody in current day Star Wars should know what a Rakata is, let alone the Infinite Empire. And they were not repelled. They were massive Force users who dominated the galaxy in their time, end to end. They were it. The only reason they fell is because they became Force blind and basically vanished. They couldn't reproduce anymore. They lost control. Nobody ever repelled them. They simply fell apart. So to say that this was an heirloom of when the Rakata were repelled, no. Disney Star Wars fail yet again. Oh, again, like I said, taking random Star Wars lore and just inserting it in there to try and sound like they know what they're talking about. It's a lived-in universe. Not this one. We cut outside. Basically, Stellan Skarsgård makes the woman do what he wants. She bitches and moans, but like a good strong man, he makes her do what he wants. And basically makes it clear that Andor is expendable. If he dies, he dies. It's a good thing we rented him. That's the line. Oh, wow, I'm so involved in all of this. Again, Andor begins to fade into background. Okay, quick cut back to made-up planets from last episode where everybody's favorite, so interested Inspector Lieutenant security guy is getting dressed down by Black Imperial security officer. We saw he suddenly arrived there. He just got there real fast. Again, no concept of how hyperspace or anything works. It takes time to travel across the galaxy. It does not happen in a couple of hours. But Black Imperial security officer is there anyway, and he fires everybody there. He fired the random made-up planet from last episode. Now it's an Imperial world, which it should have been in the first place because that's how the Empire operated. They didn't use corporate security. Imperial garrisons were everywhere, but now it's an Imperial garrison. Everybody's fired, including the guy everybody was so into last episode. Well, guess what? Here, now you see him, boop, now you don't. Next scene, we're back on random made-up planet where Andor and annoying rebel whammons are walking and talking some more. They're walking and talking. And she's basically laying down the law of how it's going to work. Don't mention Stellan Skarsgård. Don't mention anything. Just do what I say. You'll just fit in. Shut up. That's basically it. Until a pair of TIE fighters shoot by and they duck for cover. Oh, look, TIE fighters. Remember TIE fighters? Ah! Exciting, isn't it? That's it. That's it. They walk and they talk a little bit about the planet, and then we're going to cut away to Stellan Skarsgård. Oh, I'm sorry. We're back to Imperial whammons, Imperial security whammons, trying to drill down on the stolen Star Path box that Andor had, so that she can assert authority into the situation going on made-up planet that Black Imperial officers on, who he's already back on Coruscant. He was just on made-up planet, now he's back on Coruscant. If I'm moving too fast for you, it's because nothing's happening. They're just talking and walking. And now we're back to Stellan Skarsgård. Excuse my misstep. Now we're back to Stellan Skarsgård on his ship as we now understand that he's resuming the facade that he plays when he's on Coruscant as an antiquities dealer, it turns out. Again, Stellan Skarsgård is really the best thing going on here. I actually am interested when he's talking because he's a good actor and he's putting on a good performance. That's about it. Moving on, after we watch him change into back to random made-up planet that Andor and who cares rebel whammons are on, and now we get a history lesson of this made-up world and how the Imperials took it because it's in the middle of nowhere, yet close enough to not being in the middle of nowhere, but it's not really important, but it turns out to be a great depot for supplies. Okay. Ta-da! Done. Are you having fun yet?
You've been here, just over a year? You might want to steady the ladder before you start climbing.
I'm not looking for career advice.
You fall here. You fall alone.
Are you denying my request?
For the second time today.
Fine. I'll take it to Major Partagas.
Don't look down.
Oh, political intrigue. Imperials plotting against one another, tugging and pulling for scraps of power. Yeah, this is fun. We're back on Coruscant where Imperial Whammons tries to talk to black security Imperial guy about impeding her request to get jurisdiction over the box that Andor stole, which will lead her to greater and more powerful things. And he begins, as you saw, to dress her down. You've only been here a short time, woman. Know your place. No one here looks out for each other. It's all about political intrigue. They're basically saying it's all about political intrigue. Aren't you excited for political intrigue? This is your adult Star Wars. Don't you like your political intrigue? This is boring. This isn't fun. This isn't entertaining. These are characters who don't exist in Star Wars. These are not fun. Everybody loved last week Mr. Inspector Deputy Security Man. Oh, he's been built up so well. Well, he's out. And now she's in. Aren't you excited for her? Hasn't she been built up well? No, she obviously has not. Because she's already a bestest ever. They snipe, and as you saw, she says, I'm taking it to Major Old Man. Done. Moving on, cutting it again, back to a planet made up where Andor and annoying rebel woman are walking. They come upon the camp. Before we get to camp, though, dude wakes up, sleeping dude, says, great, you were asleep. We all could have been killed. Explain it to what's-her-name when she gets back. When they arrive in camp, we get a nice shot of AK blasters. They're all carrying the AK blasters. Great production value. That's so Star Wars. Once again, I reassert. You take out any reference to Imperials. No TIE Fighter. No Mon Mothma. Rename all that kind of stuff. Generic science fiction that can't even be bothered to make a gun look like a sci-fi weapon. AK blaster. Great job. We get a moment here where we're introduced to a bunch of people who I don't care about. Are you going to remember their names later? Are you? Don't lie to me because you're not.
It's a bit late for surprises.
That's Skeen. This is Taramin. Nemik. And Cinta.
You're not going to remember those names. You'll remember them now for the next couple minutes because I just had them recited for you. But tomorrow, the next day, this weekend, right up until next episode, unless you go and look it up on the episode or a cast list, you're not going to remember these names because they're nobodies. Not real Star Wars. Not action characters. They are worthless. They are pointless. They are there to fill up space. And also, obviously, check a few boxes here and there. These are people you won't care about. These are people not meant to be cared about. This isn't Star Wars. This next part ain't Star Wars either, because everybody's favorite Mr. Inspector Security Man, he goes home. Has a nice long walk, looking sad. It's a lot of show don't tell, Adam. Don't you love show don't tell? I like show and tell that matters. Show me something that matters, because this guy doesn't matter. Knocks on a door. Old woman. He goes, hello, mother. She slaps him. She hugs him. Tells a gawker to go away. He goes inside. That's it. No more Mr. Inspector Security Man. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. But it doesn't matter because he's not real Star Wars. I'm going to keep saying that. He wasn't interesting to begin with either. My opinion, people are finding things to latch onto when they aren't there because they're trying to convince themselves that this is entertaining. You're just falling into the same Disney Star Wars trap over and over again. All roads lead to the Disney sequel trilogy and Jake Skywalker. Moving on, right back to made-up planet, rebel camp. First, Andor gets bandaged up. Big deal. Great. Okay, fine. Pointless conversation there. Moving on. Angry rebel Whammons talks to angry rebel black guy and other two angry rebel guys. Well, one's actually a little bit of a flimsy-whimsy little man. He's like, I trust him if he threw the cause. They argue for 3 or 4 minutes. I trust him. She's lying to everybody. She's clearly uncomfortable lying to everybody. I trust him. I trust him. Shut up. I trust him. We need him. Shut up. That's the extent of the conversation. Shut up. Women in charge. And now, here's some more political intrigue. Remember Mon Mothma?
If you can't deliver, I need to know.
Do you think I'm not trying?
I never think that. But I need to start planning if you're no longer coming through for us.
The money's there. It's just getting very dangerous to move it around. I can't pull funds the way I used to. They're watching me now.
They're watching everyone.
This is different. They're everywhere.
We return to Coruscant, where, as I said earlier, it was revealed that Stellan Skarsgård is in fact using the front of his antiquity shop to do Alliance business, Rebel Alliance business. Comes in, does that kind of stuff. Here comes Mon Mothma, Senator Mon Mothma, with her new driver, who might be a spy. A lot of blah, 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 front talk. We're playing pretend here until they go in the back. And then we get in the back and begins your political intrigue. More political intrigue. Oh, now the rebels are trying to get stuff done. It's so exciting. Isn't this what you really wanted? To hear them talking about money laundering? Because that's what it is. It's talking about the funding. Getting funds put into accounts where Stellan Skarsgård can then dish it out to different rebel things going on. This scene right here. They, in their attempt now, and they may try to change it as the series goes on, but we're a quarter of the way through here. 4 out of 12. We're a quarter of the way done. Sorry, a third of the way done. Yeah, 4 goes into 12 3 times. I can do math. We're a third of the way done. They may try to make Mon Mothma better, but in this instance where we see her, in the 2 scenes we see her in this episode, they're doing a massive disservice to Mon Mothma, future head of state of the New Republic, because that's what she is in the EU. She's a money launderer. She moves money around. That's what she does. See, in actual Star Wars lore, she was the leader of a rebel cell. Like Garum Beliblis was a leader of a cell, and others were leaders of cells. And guys like, I don't know, Bail Organa was the go-between for a lot of things. Where's Bail Organa? Oh, we don't need him in this show to be emasculated, so we're not going to bring him in at all. Let's bring in one of the actual original leaders of the rebellion. One of the original people who were part of founding it. No. We only needed him and Obi-Wan so he could be emasculated, made to look stupid. Yeah. But basically, they have demoted Mon Mothma here. She's nothing but a money mover who we're going to learn is in a bad marriage. Are we having fun yet? Are you enjoying your political intrigue? Are you having the time of your life on this rapid, fun Star Wars adventure? Because I sure as hell ain't. This isn't real Star Wars. They have a really stupid conversation about spies are everywhere. I have to be more careful. I'm trying to vet a new person I kind of trust, whoever it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe it'll be another member berries. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, they're limiting member berries in this show. Because Tony Gilroy doesn't want to do fan service. They eventually settle on some fake gift for her husband as a means of finishing the conversation. Scene over. Moving on. Back to planet nobody knows about because it doesn't exist in Star Wars, or these wannabe rebels are hanging out, and here comes angry black Imperial man who's a spy for the rebels. That's who he is, angry black Imperial man who's very upset that he has not been included in this decision to bring in Clem Andor. He yells at Rebel Wham, and she yells back, says, I trust him, we have no choice. Eventually, he is calmed down. Clem Andor comes out. They reach a moment of, okay, fine, I'll listen to what you have to do. And that's kind of it. It's just a lot of yelling. A lot of pointless yelling about another character who doesn't goddamn matter. Do you see the pattern here? They're introducing all these characters that don't matter over a story that is so thin and so boring. They're trying to make you care about characters that are worthless because the story is pointless. They're setting up a heist job. We don't have enough communicators. We don't have enough uniforms. We have extra. No, those are backup. Well, he is the backup. That's the extent of the argument. Cut back to Coruscant. Mon Mothma goes home, discovers that her husband is having a dinner party for his special day. He's apparently invited a bunch of her political enemies who don't like her, and she hates them. And her husband doesn't give a shit because they're apparently fun, and she's really boring. And she complains about how people are starving because what if those people did? I am so sure it's going to come back eventually to be shown they're well, for lack of a better term, they're MAGA people. They're going to be MAGA people. Because remember, this whole show is a Trump allegory. Orange man bad. She then yells at him, don't make me be mean to these people because, don't interest me. I will yell at these people. We're in a bad marriage. Wham. Mon Mothma's in a bad marriage. Isn't this what you tuned into Star Wars for? Aren't you happy that you know Mon Mothma was in a loveless marriage? Are we having fun yet? Cut back to Rebel Sleepaway Camp where they're going over the plan. We get some more fake history of this fake world. How they're going to go in and out. They all keep giving Clem Andor the stink eye. Except for the guy who's like, I trust him if he has believed in the agenda, if he believed in the name. I hate this show. They They talk about how, well, Clem Andor questions their ability to escape because the TIE fighter will be on them in 9 minutes. They'll be on us in 9 minutes. They'll be on you in minutes. 9 minutes. We checked. We'll never get away. Oh, there's this special celestial event that happens every 3 years on this planet that will cover our entry and escape. All we need you to do is be a good pilot, Clem Andor. Okay. Done. He likes it. Let's get working. Cut back to Coruscant. Are we having fun yet? All this talking. Political intrigue time again. Imperial Whammons and Black Security Imperial guy are talking to Major Old Man about their conflict. She wants jurisdiction. He says it's his. Blah, 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 blah. It's all boiled down to the point where Major Old Man dismisses Black Imperial Security Man because he's doing his job. He needs to tell Imperial Whammons girl that we like you. We brought you here because you're special. You have a future, a bright future. We don't want you just being a jackbooted thug out there. We want your brain. And she goes to say, well, my brain is great because I'm seeing all these things going on, that they're planning something. There's a rebellion about to happen. You need to pay attention to me because I can see the rebellion going to happen. And you're all going to be made to look foolish later on when I'm right and all you stupid men are wrong because I'm the bestest ever at Whammons. That's it. That's it. Tells her she has a bright future, but do your job. I'll send more of this work your way. Bye. And she looks... Cut. Back at Sleepaway Camp, they give Andor homework. They give Andor homework. That's it. Learn this ship, learn this language, learn how to do this, learn the layout. There's your homework. Episode over. Have we had any fun yet?
What else don't I know about?
This helps us. We were cutting it close. You said it yourself.
3 days out? What were you going to do if I couldn't get here today? Just turn up with an extra face to explain?
I knew you'd come through.
Just like I knew Disney Star Wars would follow through and deliver a hot steaming pile of shit. Listen, said it before, you can enjoy this show. You can like it. But don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to others. Don't pretend this is Star Wars. Strip out any mention of any of the... Strip out all the member berries. Replace it with other made-up words. It could be any generic sci-fi show out there. We had all this political intrigue. What I just showed you through this episode. If you think that is fun political intrigue, well, you want to watch something, go watch The Lion in Winter. Starring Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole. That's political intrigue. This is a lot of walking and talking. A lot of me. A lot of don't you underestimate me, that kind of shit. This is not political intrigue. This does not make it adult Star Wars. You want adult Star Wars? Right there. 20 plus years worth. Just go crack open a book. What happens in this episode that is so great? Stellan Skarsgård convinces Andor to do a big money heist job. And then Andor goes to fake rebel sleepaway camp where nobody likes him. And they all want to do mean things to him until he convinces them I can do the job. And then they give him homework. That's it. Aside from a bunch of characters you don't know and don't care about and will never care about, I guarantee it. And if you say you do, you're a goddamn liar. All right, we get introduced to Imperial Whammons, who is so great at everything because she can see everything done. We're told over and over again by other characters how great she is. The standard Whammons hero's journey. She's great because we tell you she's great. And then she performs an action that pretty much everybody else could, but because we told you she's so great, of course she's going to get the job done right. Oh, everybody's favorite, most important, interesting guy from last episode did nothing. Got fired, got slapped in the face by his mom, got a hug from his mom, and stayed at home now. Oh, I can't wait till he goes. No, who cares? Who cares? He's worthless. He's boring. He was worthless and boring last episode. You're suffering from cognitive dissonance. If you're when telling yourself he was the great thing about this show that made it worth watching that last time. Grasping and grabbing for anything to try and convince yourself that this is something I can watch. Cognitive dissonance. You know something's wrong, but you convince yourself otherwise. Stellan Skarsgård is unhappy, leading a double life. I didn't mention it much in the video because I didn't really need to. It's just him looking sad and pretending to be something he's not. A happy Imperial. Mon Mothma, demoted in Disney lore so far. Not head of a Rebel Alliance cell, but a money mover, a pusher, a paper pusher. She moves money. There's no political intrigue in that. That's not fun or exciting. What she is a sad wife. That's what she is. She's in a loveless marriage. Isn't that fun? Isn't that exciting? Isn't that what Star Wars is all about? What else is there? I miss anything? Oh, I forgot. Well, it's easy to forget. Andor disappeared into the background of his own show, like I said he would. I was right. I said last week he is the most uninteresting part of his own show. And Diego Luna does no service to the character by mumbling his way through his lines. This show is trash. I said it was trash. I'm still going to say it's trash. And if you like it, again, you're free to like it. But don't lie to yourself. And don't come in at me telling me I'm just an angry EU guy or I'm just here to be negative and get clicks. No, I'm here to tell you the truth. Whether you want to hear me or not, that's up to you. You want to go to a review that's going to blow smoke up your ass? Go. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to stay here. You are free to find a review that meets your approval and tells you what you want to hear. I'm telling you the facts. Disney Star Wars is garbage. And all roads in Disney Star Wars lead to the sequel trilogy and Jake Skywalker. There is no changing that. This show does not exist in a vacuum. The sooner people understand that and remember that, the faster we can all realize this show will go nowhere. Ugh. All right. I'll see you next week at episode 5. Take it easy, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therentnerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.